The year 1948 was dominated by the extraordinary presidential campaign of Harry S. Truman and the Democratic Party's fight against the Republican-controlled Congress. The campaign's success was largely due to Truman's populist whistle-stop tours, where he manipulatively branded the Republican-led Congress as a do-nothing Congress. Even though that Congress had passed legislation like the Marshall Plan, the European Recovery Program, which began operation in April 1948, and the Housing Act of 1948. While Truman signed the Housing Act into law, he and the Democrats attacked it as inadequate, particularly for its failure to include comprehensive slum clearance and public housing provisions, a key element of the Democratic platform that was successfully blocked by the powerful real estate lobby and some Republicans. This act of political maneuvering, casting the opposition as solely responsible for the lack of vital domestic policy, was a highly successful, if aggressive, campaign tactic, leading to Truman's upset victory. Finally, after 329 years, the most significant action that fractured the Democratic Party was the adoption of a strong civil rights plank in the party platform at the Democratic National Convention. This led to a walkout by Southern Democrats, known as the Dixiecrats, who would go on to form the states' rights Democratic Party under presidential candidate Strom Thurmond. Their platform explicitly stood for the segregation of the races and opposed the federal elimination of segregation and federal control of employment practices, highlighting the deep institutional racism that still existed within a significant faction of the Democratic Party, even as the party's official stance moved towards civil rights. In a move to appeal to black and liberal voters following the Dixiecrat split, Truman, via Executive Order 9981 on July 26, 1948, desegregated the United States Armed Forces and issued Executive Order 9980 to ensure fair employment practices in the federal civil service. While these executive orders were steps against prejudice, they also represented a political strategy to rally a crucial voting bloc. In the realm of foreign policy and military actions, 1948 saw the deepening of the Cold War, leading to actions that were critiqued by the far-left Progressive Party, which nominated Henry Wallace. The Berlin airlift began in June 1948 as a response to the Soviet blockade of West Berlin. This was a massive, sustained military operation using U.S. and Allied aircraft to deliver supplies, and while framed as a humanitarian effort to save the people of West Berlin, it was also a military action in the context of geopolitical confrontation, which carried the risk of escalating into a larger conflict. The Truman Doctrine and the ongoing Marshall Plan were viewed by some critics, like the Progressive Party, as imperialistic or manipulative foreign intervention, using economic and military aid to prop up reactionary or fascist governments in places like Greece and Turkey, and subjugate the economies of Western European nations to American business interests, an unethical use of foreign aid for political and economic leverage against the Soviet Union. On May 14, 1948, the U.S. granted immediate diplomatic recognition to the State of Israel. While hailed by supporters, this act was taken over the objections of the State Department and some U.S. military leaders, which critics viewed as a controversial, impulsive, and potentially prejudicial act that complicated U.S. relations and future policy in the Middle East.